Hello and good day to everyone in the 4As. I'm Dave Gomez, Head of Communications for PMFTC, an affiliate of Philip Morris International, and I'm very much humbled to be virtually with you today. This year's theme is particularly resonant with us, though we now find ourselves huddling in digital rooms spanning miles of geophysical distances between us. Stories don't stop. And it's truly an honor to be able to share our story at 4Ace's first ever virtual CreativeFest. For the benefit of those who do not know our company, PMFTC was established in 2010 following the business combination between PMI and Fortune Tobacco Corporation. PMFTC is an agriculture and consumer products company that's leading change across the Philippine tobacco industry. We are an employer of choice, a major tobacco leaf buyer, taxpayer, and a partner to law enforcement. Our traditional business supports the 2 million Filipinos who depend on tobacco for all or part of their livelihood. So you may be thinking, what kind of story can I, an executive of the world's largest tobacco company, tell you here today? In literature, we have what we call a basic story structure. You have your exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and the resolution. Applying that structure with our company's history, the narrative seems linear, straightforward, matter-of-fact even. But all effective storytelling begins with listening. We are in no denial. We know we belong to a controversial and highly regulated industry. We manufacture a product, cigarettes, that have clear health risks, and yet a product that many adult consumers in the world still largely choose to enjoy. We are part of a bigger society and we want to behave responsibly in it. So we ask society, what do you expect from a responsible tobacco company? Many times over, they said, we expect you to behave responsibly by warning your consumers on the risks associated with your product, that you do not sell to minors, and that you develop products that are better alternatives to cigarettes. What they told us forms part of our new foundation for the future. Today, we have made a dramatic move to transform our business to achieve our bold new vision to deliver a smoke-free future. Yes, you heard it right. We are a tobacco company working to achieve a world that is free from cigarettes. Allow me to explain a bit. Almost every country in the world has taken action against the industry. In the Philippines, taxes on cigarettes are going up every year. Places where people can smoke are getting limited. Health warnings on packs and at retail have gone from small prints to large pictures. Notwithstanding these measures, there are still 16 million smokers in the Philippines. Smokers are quitting cold turkey at a rate of only 4%. No less than the World Health Organization estimates that there will still be more than 1 billion smokers worldwide in 2030, about the same level we have today. So how do we make the lives of those 1 billion smokers better? The challenge and the solution to us is clear. We need to transform our business with science and innovation as our basis. Science tells us that anything you light on fire releases harmful chemicals. This is true for the internal combustion engine of a car, the wood in your barbecue, and the tobacco in cigarettes. The problem then is burning, and our challenge is to take the smoke out of smoking. Thus, we call our vision delivering a smoke-free future. We have a very specific goal to provide the world's adult smokers who would otherwise continue to smoke with smoke-free alternatives. We are going smoke-free because it is the right thing to do and our resources today allow for it. With the support of top-in-class scientists and engineers, technicians, and a state-of-the-art R&D, our bold vision is to transform our business to replace cigarettes with better alternatives as soon as possible. And that is to take the smoke out of smoking. But I am not here to talk about our new innovative smoke-free products. What I want to share with you is our new advocacy and the narrative of the story we are telling. This is what we call Unsmoke Your World, or simply Unsmoke. Yes, Unsmoke. That's an odd word, isn't it? Is the word even in the dictionary, you may ask? Unsmoke is more than just a message from a corporation like us. Today, our vision of a smoke-free future is transformed into a call to action and a verb. Let's begin with what Unsmoke is not. It's not a marketing or a PR campaign. The Unsmoke message is our foundation. It is the core of our way forward. And it simply reads, if you don't smoke, don't start. If you smoke, quit. And if you don't quit, change. Let me restate. If you don't smoke, don't start. If you smoke, quit. If you don't quit, change. And we've defined unsmoke as an act to rid smoke from your life. The act of unsmoking unites smokers and unsmokers who want to unsmoke themselves, their families, and friends. The best way to unsmoke is to quit cigarettes and nicotine completely. But the next best way is to switch to better alternatives. Unsmoke is a sincere effort to kickstart a dialogue that is long overdue. We've reached a critical mass, smokers and unsmokers alike, who want and need an outlet for a conversation, and whose time has come. It's a conversation within our families, our circle of friends, our regulators and policymakers, and within our society. It's a conversation about the need to quit cigarettes or make better choices and support people who are making it possible. And it's begging to be amplified. This is an opportunity of historic proportions. What if the world came together in the largest conversation about ridding the world of smoking and finding better alternatives to cigarettes if smokers don't quit? We want people to join us to help make this happen, showing everyone can help make a positive impact. How? We are starting and encouraging people to join us in a global conversation that inspires human stories for the people, by the people, with an overarching call to action. Like so many other topics, the conversation around quitting cigarettes has been polarizing and politicized. What's gotten lost in the conversation are the 1 billion adult smokers who continue to use cigarettes. People are already unsmoking. By truly defining and sharing the concept, the desire to quit cigarettes or find better alternatives, we are tapping into a phenomenon that is already happening. PMI is helping to give this segment of the society a voice. By coining the phrase and then giving it away, we offer a way for people to express this desire in a shared language that transcends borders and is ownable by everyone and understood universally. PMI launched Unsmoke in April 2019. Since then, it has become a central message for the company to persuade societies across the globe that smokers and those who love them need accurate information about better alternatives to cigarettes, access to these products, and the right regulation to support their changing to them. Over the past year and a half, PMI has launched the campaign across 90 countries. It has been used in events, in paid advertising campaigns, as an internal rallying cry, and as an external call, generating hundreds of millions of earned impressions and spurring nearly 2.5 million unsmoked digital actions, page and video views, clicks, shares, hashtag uses, and retweets by people engaging with our message. There are global English and Spanish language websites with planned local microsites, including here in the Philippines, to be rolled out in the coming months. We also have 200 testimonials of unsmokers in a dozen languages, which are being rolled out through a global campaign. We've launched activations all over the world, including the World Economic Forum at Davos, where we held panel discussions, media interviews, and press conferences to showcase our transformation into a company leading major breakthroughs in the realm of innovation and public health. Here in the Philippines, getting the message of transformation across in a time when we are all confined at home proved to be a unique challenge. We believe in the power of human connection and one-to-one communication. We still do, especially considering our Philippine culture of pakikisama and samahan. We're all aware how face-to-face interaction and physical proximity can make a world of difference. With that belief in mind, we set about localizing our transformation story and spreading the word to our Filipino stakeholders. We launched Unsmoke Pilipinas in July 2019. Since then, we have reached out and partnered with business organizations and industry associations. Pre-lockdown, we joined industry forums, supported events, and attended conferences in person. The onset of COVID-19 was an unprecedented obstacle, a literal modern-day plague that has touched all industries and sectors. We quickly realized the need to pivot and adapt to the new reality we found ourselves in. True to our company's transformation mindset, we saw it as a chance to try something new, an opportunity to reimagine our approach, broaden our engagement capabilities, and continue telling our story. We have fully shifted to virtual engagements, much like this one, with our partner organizations and associations. We were able to conduct a number of virtual events where we have successfully shared the Unsmoke gospel to thousands despite the physical restrictions we have. What we've found through the hundreds of conversations we've had over the past year is this: there are people out there with unsmoked stories, and whether or not they realize it, there are part of conversation that has been going on for many years, but is only now gaining traction. By raising the level of the conversation about Unsmoke, the Philippines is becoming part of that global community. If there's anything that we've learned so far, it's that even as we tell our transformation story, the narrative continues to be written in various conversations that are just beginning to be had. In closing, let me say, the world is changing and our business is changing with it. Millions of people who otherwise would continue to smoke are changing with us. We want to hear your story. Join the conversation. Visit our website at www.unsmokeyourworld.com. Our story doesn't stop. We will slowly but surely unsmoke the world, one conversation at a time. Friends, thank you very much for your generous time. I will leave you now with this short, unsmoked videos of real people with real stories. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay kayong lahat.
You don't actually need that in your system. And it's just your brain telling you na parang, oh, nasa na yun yung parati natin nakakuha dati. You used to do this like 20 times a day. Saan na siya? I'm Joey. I'm a DJ, music producer, and composer. I used to work in corporate, but I always go back to making music not because there is satisfaction when it comes to hearing it. A more fundamental level, it's about being able to have a form of expression. There are some rituals that I have in place in order for me to do something creative. Smoking was a ritual as well. One of my biggest fears was that if I unsmoked, where would the ideas come from? I really decided to quit. Instead of, going out every 3 hours, having like a cigarette break, I would force myself to stay at my desk. It always gets worse before it gets better. When I kind of got used to the idea that I was free of this addiction, that's when I started going back to who I was even without cigarettes. The time that you're supposed to be spending for having a creative thought process, that gets truncated in little bits just because you're always distracting yourself. It's possible for practically anyone to unsmoke. It's a matter of having the conviction to do it and deciding for yourself that it's something that you actually want and not something that you just have to do to please someone else.
Pwede pala akong maging astig kahit hindi ako naninigarilyo. Nung nakita nila ako nagbago, kung ako nagbago ako, bakit sila hindi nila kaya? Hi, I'm Dalton Torrio, 28, from Tanay Rizal. As a hobby, I'm a vocalist for my band, and I am a changer. Nagsimula po ako magbanda 2008. High school pa lang kami. Astig na astig kami doon sa mga tumutugtog ng mga progressive metal music. Pero para sa amin, yun yung part na parang na-express nilang maigi yung sarili nila. Dito sa craft na to, dito rin kami mag-excel. Ito yung gusto namin pakinggan. And dito namin mapapakita yung totoong kami. So backstage po, before ako mag-perform, kailangan ko muna manigarilyo, mga 2 or 3. And mas lumalakas yung loob ko, tiwala ako sa sarili ko. Actually, yung nagtumigil po ako ng manigarilyo, nag-boom na rin yung industry ng vaping sa Pilipinas. Doon ko po napag-decide na pwede ko na itong maging alternative sa paninigarilyo. Napakasaya ng pakiramdam po pag nakatulong ako sa iba and may narinig akong storya na parang nagtumigil na rin ako manigarilyo. Salamat sa'yo. So wala man akong ginawa sa kanila personal, pero yung maging inspirasyon ka sa kanila para tumigil sila manigarilyo is na napakasaya po sa puso.
Eight billion of us share our planet, and it is estimated that more than 1 billion adults smoke. While the risks of smoking are well known, most smokers still don't do what's best: quit tobacco and nicotine altogether. And many of those don't know that better alternatives to continued smoking exist, or have access to them. So many smokers who would otherwise continue smoking wouldn't know or think to change. Our message is simple. If you don't smoke, don't start. If you smoke, quit. If you don't quit, change. We believe everyone deserves better. We believe adult smokers deserve access to better alternatives and all the resources they need to make an informed decision. Action from smokers and those who love them can change things. So stand up, be heard, and add your voice to the calls for a better future. Unsmoke your world.